Ciao sailing friends, and really friends of our beautiful oceans and its creatures. I want to ask your help on a very important project. It's the North Atlantic Right Whale Project. Some of you are going to be very familiar with this project. Others, it may be very new to you. But if you are sailing or enjoying the beaches along the North Atlantic Ocean, this video is for you. So the right whale is a highly endangered species. There's only 356 of them at this particular time that are left, and only 70 of those are able to have calves. So we are doing everything we can to observe their migration patterns, their patterns, and to ask for volunteers to simply follow a short process of letting the project know if you have a sighting, because that way they can continue to chart the migration. And just to share how impactful this can be, most of the right whales that are dying it's either from propeller or boat injury or from becoming entangled in fishing gear. So obviously, if you notify the project that you see one and maybe it's entangled, they can immediately dispatch a team that can go and disentangle them. If it is an injured one, they can still track that. Many of these have been identified. They either have a name or they're assigned a number. But the powers that be have actually come together in the shipping industry and in the whale preservation group to collaborate and see how they might work together. And so many of the right whales farther north were kept safe because the shipping companies were willing to change the direction, the pathway, the route of their ships during the time when the right whales would be in that area, because it's just for a specific time. So they were able to coordinate, to come together, even though they had, seemingly different opposing sides, you might say. But this is where we need to get to really in our world, is where we may have differing agendas, but we can actually come together, come to the table, and develop really win-win solutions. So anyway, that was my soapbox. But anyway, the right whale, if you were sailing in the Atlantic, particularly between mid-November and mid-April, if you would simply just watch and see if you see any right whales, and then I'll give you the information to the number to call. I'll also post it below, and you can contact that number and let them know. So first thing, what am I looking for? So the right whale, only very small part of its body, head and body, show, but on the head there are knobby white protuberances, whatever. So you'll see those white markings on the head. They do not have a dorsal fin, and they have a unique V-shaped blow spray. And so that is how you would identify it. So during this season, the female right whales migrate to the south to warmer waters to have their calves, and they remain here until the calves have developed enough blubber to now travel back up north. And so the mid-November to mid-April is when we see them here in our area, which is kind of between, like Georgia and Florida, down in our area. So when you see them and identify them, and honestly, I know I spoke or went to a presentation by just a wonderful lady named Taryn McGinnis, and she was sharing that even because they're a little bit difficult to see, um, if you think you see one, please call. Don't talk yourself out of reporting it and say, oh, maybe I didn't see what I thought I saw. So some other clues to look for are if there are dolphins around and if there are birds around, then generally the right whales are there. So those are good things to look at because, like I said, a lot of their body is below the surface. So if you'll use that combination of criteria to determine if you're going to call. So when you call, it's very helpful. For those of you that are sailing, it's wonderful because you can give the coordinates, the latitude and longitude of where you are. If you are walking on the beach, keep your eye out anytime you're doing that, or if you're not aware of what the coordinates are, look for some large landmark identifying landmark, something so that they will know, because they can dispatch a team or a drone out. It's very important to chart their migration, as you saw in how much they were able to accomplish. Because they had charted the migration, they were able to negotiate with the shipping companies to alter their route during that particular time during the right whale's migration in that area. So it's very important, and it's very helpful if you just will take these things into account. So you want to determine how many whales do you see. Do you see any calves? What direction are they swimming in? Are there dolphins? Just anything that seems significant. If it's visible that they're entangled in fishing gear or that they seem injured, share that as well. We are supposed to stay 500 yards away from them for their protection. So if you'll just gather the information, and then the number to call is, let me see, it's 1-888-979-4253. So that's 1-888-979-4253. So if you may not be sailing the Atlantic now, but if you are doing it anytime between mid-November, even next year, through mid-April, then please take that number down. And if you see anything that you think is a right whale, please call that number and help us, because we really, really can make a difference. So I'm just going to conclude this video. And also, for those of you who are just walking on the beach, keep your eyes out. They do have teams of volunteers that are assigned certain areas and certain times, but just if you're there, you might be one of the people that actually sees them and reports them, and really can save them, because with only 70 females to reproduce, even though we're making progress, there have been 2 sightings recently where one was boat injured and another one was entangled in fishing gear. So we definitely want to take care of these beautiful oceans that we enjoy so much, and the beautiful creatures that live within them. They are far more valuable than a lot of people realize, and that's a topic for many more videos that I hope to do. So just wishing you fair winds and following seas, epic adventures, and some right whale sightings. Thank you so much. Ciao for now.